Imagine checking into a hotel, only to realize you're not alone. Behind the luxurious facades of Thailand's most famous hotels lurk chilling secrets, ghostly brides who never left, cursed rooms locked forever, and elevators that open to another world. These aren't urban legends. These are real places where guests have fled in the dead of night, leaving behind their belongings, and sometimes their sanity. Tonight, we're counting down the top 10 most haunted hotels in Thailand. Places where the walls whisper, the dead check in but never check out. If you're brave enough, keep watching. But don't say we didn't warn you when the lights go out. 1. Bangkok Palace Hotel, abandoned. Bangkok. The Bangkok Palace Hotel stands frozen in time, its crumbling halls echoing with whispers of the past. Once a glittering luxury destination, it now looms like a specter over Vibhavati Rangsit Road, its broken windows staring like hollow eyes. Abandoned since the early 2000s, the hotel's decay hides chilling secrets, guests who never checked out. Locals speak of a devastating fire that claimed lives, though records mysteriously omit the tragedy. Others believe the land itself is cursed, disturbed spirits rising from forgotten graves beneath its foundations. Brave urban explorers tell of shadowy figures gliding through its mold-stained corridors, disembodied laughter ringing from empty ballrooms. Some swear they've seen the ghost of a woman in a soaked white dress, her wails echoing near the drained swimming pool where she allegedly drowned. Security guards refuse to patrol alone, reporting phantom knocks on doors, rooms still eerily furnished as if awaiting long-dead guests. The air grows icy in spots, cameras malfunction, and visitors flee, gripped by an unseen terror. Whether cursed or simply haunted by tragedy, the Bangkok Palace Hotel remains a place where the past refuses to rest. 2. The Mandarin Oriental Bangkok. The Mandarin Oriental Bangkok, a jewel of the Chao Phraya River, hides a spectral secret beneath its opulent facade. While guests sip cocktails by the pool, few realize they're treading the same floors where a notorious ghost glides through history. Room 333 is forever locked, its key vanished, not for renovations but to contain the restless spirit of Sue, a 19th century American actress who took her own life after a doomed love affair with a Thai nobleman. Staff whisper of flickering lights, sudden chills, and the faint scent of jasmine perfume lingering near her old suite. The horror deepens in the author's wing, where Somerset Maugham once wrote, "Night cleaners refuse to enter alone after midnight, reporting typewriter keys clacking in empty rooms and shadowy figures peering from mirrors. A long-dead bellboy allegedly haunts the riverside terrace, his phantom footsteps trailing guests before vanishing into the humid night. Even skeptics shudder at the legend of the Weeping Woman, a sobbing apparition seen floating above the river, her mournful cries echoing through the teakwood halls. The Mandarin Oriental wears its hauntings with aristocratic grace, proving even paradise has its ghosts. 3. Siam Hotel, Old Building, Bangkok. The Siam Hotel, nestled along Bangkok's Chao Phraya River, exudes colonial elegance by day, but as night falls, something far more sinister stirs within its century-old walls. The original wing, preserved like a time capsule, is ground zero for whispers of a tragedy no one dares name aloud. Staff speak in hushed tones about Room 708, where guests report waking to the sensation of invisible hands pressing down on their chests, their screams muffled by an unseen force. The air grows thick with the scent of old roses and something darker, copper perhaps, or the faint metallic tang of blood long since scrubbed away. Housekeepers refuse to enter certain corridors alone after dusk, claiming to hear children's laughter echoing from the abandoned fourth-floor ballroom, a space sealed off since the 1960s after a New Year's Eve party ended in unimaginable horror. Security cameras have captured shadowy figures gliding through locked rooms, their faces blurred as if submerged in water. The most chilling legend tells of a woman in a soaked green sarong, her bloated fingers leaving damp handprints on mirrors before she vanishes into the river-facing suites. Some say she's the ghost of a jilted bride. Others insist she's something far older, drawn to the land the hotel was built upon. One thing is certain, at the Siam Hotel, history doesn't just linger, it claws its way into the present. First Hotel, Bangkok. The First Hotel, a once grand establishment in the heart of Bangkok, now stands as a decaying monument to forgotten tragedies. Behind its peeling wallpaper and flickering hallway lights lurk stories that make even the bravest guests check out early. The most infamous horror centers around room 404, where multiple visitors have reported waking to the sound of a woman sobbing inside the walls, a sound that shifts to choked, gurgling screams if anyone dares to listen too long. Night staff swear the room's telephone rings at 3:33 a.m., though its wires were cut years ago, and those foolish enough to answer hear only labored breathing before the line goes dead. The hotel's grimmest secret lies in its basement, where an abandoned swimming pool still reeks of chlorine decades after its last use. Locals whisper that a bride in a blood-stained wedding gown drifts through the waterlogged darkness, her skeletal fingers brushing the ankles of those who wander too close. Security footage from the 1990s allegedly captured a lone figure crawling out of the drained pool, but the film mysteriously vanished, along with the guard who reported it. To this day, staff avoid the lower floors after midnight, crossing themselves when the elevator stops unscheduled on the basement level, its doors opening to an empty shaft filled with the sound of splashing water. The First Hotel doesn't just house ghosts, it festers with them, each creaking floorboard a reminder that some check-ins are permanent. 5 Chiang Mai Night Bazaar Hotel, Chiang Mai. The Chiang Mai Night Bazaar Hotel hides its horrors behind the vibrant chaos of the famous market outside. By day, it's a budget traveler's haven. By night, the building seems to exhale something ancient and watchful. Guests on the 3rd floor often report hearing rhythmic knocking inside the walls, 3 slow raps, then 2 fast, as if something is patiently counting down to an unseen hour. The taps grow louder if acknowledged, sometimes escalating into violent banging that leaves dents in the plaster, only for the damage to vanish by morning. Housekeepers refuse to clean certain rooms alone, whispering about bloodstains that reappear on sheets after being changed, always in the shape of a handprint clutching the fabric. The most feared spirit is the smiling boy, a childlike figure seen crouching at the foot of beds in room 306. Witnesses describe his coal-black eyes and unnaturally wide grin before he lunges, only to dissolve into shadows. The hotel's darkest legend involves the underground storage area, where staff claim a hidden red door sometimes appears at the end of a corridor. Those who approach hear wet, dragging footsteps behind it, accompanied by the scent of rotting orchids. A night manager once vanished after investigating. His logbook was found later, its final entry reading, "She's not under the bed, she's inside the walls now." Whether curse or collective nightmare, the Night Bazaar Hotel proves that in Chiang Mai, the dead don't just linger, they participate. 6 Fetkasm Hotel Hat Yai. The Fetkasm Hotel in Hat Yai wears its haunted reputation like a shroud, its faded pastel walls hiding horrors that defy explanation. Guests who dare to stay often speak of an oppressive presence in room 512, where the air grows thick with the scent of frangipani, a flower not found anywhere near the property. Those who sleep there report waking to the sound of a child giggling under the bed, followed by the sickening creak of mattress springs, compressing as if someone or something has just climbed up beside them. The laughter turns to choked sobs by dawn, always fading just as sunlight hits the cracked window panes. Staff whisper about the lady in the elevator, a spectral figure in a 1970s-era dress who appears when the lift malfunctions between floors. Witnesses describe her hollow eyes and lips, moving soundlessly before the doors slam shut, leaving behind a puddle of seawater on the floor, though Hat Yai lies far from the coast. The hotel's darkest secret lurks in the abandoned fourth-floor banquet hall, where locals claim a doomed wedding party once perished. To this day, security cameras capture blurred figures waltzing in the empty ballroom at midnight, their faces melted like wax. A maintenance worker who investigated in 2018 was found hours later babbling about the bride's hungry veil before quitting on the spot. The Fetkasm's management denies the hauntings, yet keeps room 512 permanently locked, except when the door is found mysteriously ajar, the bedspread crumpled and the bathroom sink filled with salt water no one remembers running. 7. The Royal Hotel, Bangkok. The Royal Hotel in Bangkok wears its faded grandeur like a tattered funeral shroud, its once opulent halls now steeped in whispers of the dead. Built in the 1940s, the hotel has borne witness to countless untold tragedies, but none cling to its walls like the specter haunting room 401. Guests who stay here report waking to the sound of a rocking chair, creaking violently in the darkness, though no such chair exists in the room. Some have felt icy fingers brush their cheeks as they sleep, while others swear they've seen the reflection of an old woman in the mirror, her sunken eyes staring from behind them before vanishing in a breath of decay. The hotel's staff speak in hushed tones of the midnight procession, phantom footsteps that echo through the empty third-floor corridor every night at exactly 1:11 a.m., as if an invisible funeral march is passing through. A night manager once followed the sounds to a sealed storage room, where he claimed to hear muffled sobbing behind the door. When he broke the lock, the room was empty except for a single dust-covered nurse's cap from the hotel's brief stint as a wartime hospital. The most chilling accounts come from the basement, where an abandoned elevator shaft occasionally groans to life, its rusted doors opening to reveal a blast of frigid air and the faint smell of antiseptic, a grim reminder that some checkouts at the Royal Hotel are anything but final. 8. Locky Plaza Hotel, Bangkok. The Locky Plaza Hotel, a crumbling relic on Bangkok's outskirts, is a place where time itself seems fractured. Behind its cracked facade and flickering neon sign, something stirs in the shadows, something that doesn't belong to this world. Guests who brave its dimly lit corridors often speak of room 609, where the air is unnaturally thick and the walls seem to pulse with a faint, rhythmic vibration like a heartbeat. Those who sleep here wake to find their belongings rearranged, their clothes folded into neat, funeral-like parcels. Some claim to hear whispers in an archaic dialect, their words just beyond comprehension, as if the walls themselves are murmuring secrets from another era. The hotel's darkest legend revolves around the elevator game, a cursed ritual said to transport players to another realm. Staff swear the elevator sometimes descends to a non-existent 13th floor, its doors opening to reveal a long blood-red hallway. A security guard who vanished in 2015 was last seen entering that elevator. His walkie-talkie was later found in the basement, emitting garbled static and what sounded like distant screaming. Night cleaners refused to work alone after encountering a spectral black figure, a tall, faceless entity that lurks at the end of hallways, its elongated limbs twitching unnaturally before it vanishes into the walls. The Locky Plaza Hotel doesn't just house spirits, it hungers for them, and those who stay too long may find themselves becoming part of its haunted tapestry. 9. Rama 6 Hotel, Nakhon Pathom. The Rama 6 Hotel in Nakhon Pathom stands as a monument to forgotten royalty, its once grand corridors now echoing with something far more sinister. Built during the reign of its namesake king, the hotel's decaying elegance hides a darkness that seeps through its peeling wallpaper. Guests report waking in the dead of night to find their beds shaking violently, not from earthquakes but from unseen hands gripping the bedposts. The third floor is particularly feared, where room 333 remains permanently locked after multiple guests fled, screaming about a pale woman in a rotting silk dress who crawls along the ceiling, her long hair brushing their faces as they sleep. Staff whisper about the King's Guard, a ghostly sentinel in an outdated uniform who patrols the basement, his boots clicking on tiles that haven't existed for decades. Those who glimpse him say his face is frozen in a silent scream, his hollow eye sockets tracking the living. The hotel's grisliest secret lingers in the abandoned ballroom, where phantom laughter and the scent of spoiled banquet food still haunt the air. A 1998 renovation crew discovered a hidden crawl space filled with child-sized handprints in the dust, though no children had stayed at the hotel in years. Today, night receptionists keep a Buddha amulet under their desks, praying they won't hear the sound of dragging footsteps stopping outside the office door, or worse, the wet crunch of something crawling up the stairs. 10. The Davis Bangkok Hotel, Bangkok. The Davis Bangkok Hotel, with its sleek, modern facade, hides a chilling paradox. Beneath its polished surfaces lingers a past that refuses to stay buried. Guests checking into certain rooms often report an immediate sense of being watched, their reflections in the bathroom mirrors sometimes blinking when they don't. The most haunted is room 1408, where the air conditioning inexplicably drops to freezing at night, frost forming patterns like screaming faces on the windows. Housekeepers dread servicing this room, finding the shower running at full blast despite no one being inside, the steam smelling faintly of burnt hair. Some have reported seeing a shadowy figure sitting on the bed through the peephole, only to find the room empty when entering. The hotel's darkest history whispers through its elevator system. Multiple guests have reported descending to the lobby only for the doors to open on the abandoned 12th floor, revealing a long corridor lit by flickering lights. Those brave enough to step out describe hearing ghostly chatter from behind boarded-up doors before the elevator slams shut behind them. Staff confirm a woman in a 1970s-era stewardess uniform has been seen gliding through the banquet halls at dawn, her neck bent at an unnatural angle. The most disturbing account comes from a 2016 security tape showing a guest fleeing a non-existent fire, screaming about hands in the walls before vanishing near the emergency stairwell, his final whimpers still audible on the recording. The Davis management smiles through denials, yet keeps a Buddhist monk on retainer for monthly blessings, a silent admission that some check-ins at this glamorous hotel come with invisible permanent roommates.